Scooby-Doo Trick or Treat. This is the newest animated direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movie, only releasing on DVD and digital. Sadly, no Blu-ray. I watched the DVD because I pre-ordered it because I'm a fan of the show. And I want to watch this movie because I watch all the Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies. So if you want to see a review for the last one they did, which was a crossover between Courage the Cowardly Dog and all that. So this one's been pretty big in the news. I guess we'll just address the main thing up front about this movie. Shaggy and Scooby are revealed to be in a polyamorous relation. No, I'm kidding. But the big news about this movie is that Velma's gay. Oh my god. Burn all the witches and dig through the ditches in the back of my Dracula. That's a Rob Zombie reference, but I'm just like, see, I'm joking about it because I really don't give a shit, but I feel like it's necessary to explain to people. This is not the first time this character's been gay, or at least been hinted at being gay, or other things like that. It's been explicit before. This is just the most it's been explicit on screen, and some people are having a huge problem with that. They're upset, they're angry, they're ready to burn and kill everybody involved with this project. I mean, there were a lot of, if you go on Letterboxd, you can see that there's a lot of 1-star reviews and 2-star reviews, and then there's a lot of 10-star reviews of people overhyping this movie. First of all, no Scooby-Doo movie's a 10-star movie. They're good for what they are. And I watched this and I'm sitting here like, this is such a minor subplot in this movie. There's jokes about it. It's very well, it's not very it's not majorly in this movie. And then of course there's there's that Republican Party going, it's here to harm kids, hide your kids from Scooby-Doo, oh my dear god. It's just all ridiculous on all ends, from the people overhyping this and being overly excited about it. It's ridiculous. It's just why can't we just let these things be without A, complaining about it, and B, flipping out like it's the biggest deal possible. I think it's cool that Velma's gay because, I mean, I saw this years ago in Mystery Incorporated. Sorry, my dog is being kind of loud. I saw this years ago, and I was like, cool then, and I'm like, cool now. It just is a part of her character, and it's fun. And really, if you're not into the fact that Velma's gay, let me just explain something to you. The character's just as smart, just as funny, just as well voice acted, and all these things. She's always been. Her design is still the same, all this kind of stuff. They don't change the core of the character to make her gay. They really don't. And I think that's what's annoying about it. Now let's just actually talk about the movie, because I'm sick of talking about this shit. I just think it's worth addressing because there is so much overreaction and nonsense and BS behind this, where misreporting the fact that she's been gay for years and that's been misreported or just left out of the conversation. And then there's the fact of the other side who's also being overdramatic about sort of things, as always. But this movie, I like this movie. What I liked about this movie, first and foremost, is the animation. See, Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies are fine for what they are, but this one was really nice looking in the sense that it was really made to look like the classic Scooby-Doo animated series art style. And, God, puppies, I swear. It's making all that noise. It's having fun, so. Anyways, and I like that art style to this movie. And it's really good art style and beautiful, because it's updated, it's new, it's more fluid and stuff like that, but still looks like the one from the 60s, because we are dealing with what feels like a direct continuation of the 60s series, where the characters locked up all their monsters, they find out who's been making the costumes for them the whole time, and then there's kind of like fun gags with that. This movie was also very funny. I laughed a lot during this movie, more than I expected to. A lot of great gags with characters. There's a running joke about how Daphne doesn't really contribute anything to the team half the time. There's a joke about Fred wishing in a wishing well. And there's a great song in the movie that's obviously a parody of the Scooby-Doo theme, where instead of hunting monsters, they're just solving like minuscule crimes. Like they help him find his car. That stuff was very funny and very amusing. So I just really, really enjoyed this movie for what it was. It was a fun Scooby-Doo romp. If you like Scooby-Doo, you'll like this movie. It's not really groundbreaking. It's not really new or different. It's Scooby-Doo, guys. Let's not be freaking out whether Velma's gay. Let's not be overhyped on both ends of that. And then let's also just acknowledge these how that Scooby-Doo's just kind of doing its thing, and that's just fine. I also think it's ridiculous. Back to the Velma's gay thing, is that this is a Scooby-Doo movie that references the 60s and a bunch of events that have happened way before these kids were born, and yet the Republican Party is made out like this was something made to harm kids, even though it's like clearly this is made for more adult fans who know and love Scooby-Doo history and things like that. I'm just saying that's kind of interesting to see what they're going on about when you break down what this movie is. But yeah, it's a fun movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Just give this movie a chance. It's a good movie. And I'm excited for the next Scooby-Doo project that comes out. I'm always am. I'm always going to be there. And I will say, it is nice to go back to classic Scooby-Doo for the last two movies we've seen. Because, I mean, after Scoob, it just feels like it was annoying to see a bunch of people decide to change things up more than they needed to. Instead of just keeping classic the way it is. And that's kind of what this movie does. It keeps classic the way it is, has fun with that, while updating it and be fresh enough a little bit.